And even David, when he faced Goliath, everybody is scared. Everybody's saying this, we cannot do this. We can't do this. This is crazy. We're gonna die. Who dared even going in front of Goliath? But David did. And he did that with the stones. That's how he was able to gain victory. It was the stones and it was his God. Combined together, miracles can happen. The small that we have combined with the big God that we serve can bring miracles in our lives. God is expecting us to do something, and he's asking us what is in our hands. Hey guys, welcome back to This Living Light. My name is Vanessa. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you're new here, welcome. If you have been here before, welcome back. My name is Vanessa. On this channel, I talk about all things God, my journey with the Lord, the ups and the downs, the in-betweens, everything that he's teaching me, all in hopes that I can help you on your walk with the Lord. The Lord has been speaking to me about the the 2 fish and 5 bread miracle that he did and how that is being applied to my life. So yeah, without further ado, guys, I just want to jump into it. Let's read Luke chapter 9, verse 10 to 17. Luke chapter 9, verse 10 to 17. And it says, "And the apostles, when they had returned, told him all that they had done. Then he took them and went aside privately in a deserted place belonging to the city called Bethsaida. But when the multitudes knew it, they followed him. And he received them and spoke to them about the kingdom of God and healed those who had need of healing. When the day began to wear away, and the 12 came and said to him, 'Send the multitude away, that they may go into the surrounding towns and country and lodge and get provisions, for we are in a deserted place here.' But he said to them, 'You give them food. You give them something to eat.' And they said, 'We have no more than 5 loaves and 2 fish, unless we go and buy food for all these people.' For there were about 5,000 men. And he said to his disciples, 'Make them sit down in groups of 50. And they did so and made them all sit down. Then he took the 5 loaves and the 2 fish, and looking up to the heaven, he blessed them, broke them, and gave them to the disciples to set before the multitude. So they all ate and were filled, and 12 baskets of the leftover fragments were taken up by them." So this is a common miracle, Jesus feeding the 5,000 plus people. We've all heard it many times, but the Lord has been teaching me through this passage about not minimizing the small things that he's given us, not minimizing the small that we have, that he can use the small in our lives to do miracles upon miracles upon miracles. So when I was reading this, one of the first things that the Lord highlighted to me is in verse 12. It says, this is where the disciples are saying, "Send the crowd away to go into the surrounding villages and countryside so that they can find food and a place to stay, because we are in the desert. We don't have food for 5,000 people." Like, now is the time for them to start going back and finding something for themselves. And when I was reading this, it really just stood out to me, because this was an impossible situation for the disciples. They were faced with a challenge. They were faced with something that was out of their capacity, and the logical thing that they knew to do. Anybody in that situation, we have all these people here, families. It's saying 5,000 men, but there were women there were children. They're not counting all of those people. So the disciples, logically, it makes sense to send them away, because we don't have the food. Now is the time to send them away. The Lord kind of just nudged in my heart that, how many times are we in those situations where things are just looking like a challenge, things are looking difficult, things are looking like it's out of our control, and our first action is okay, let's just think about it logically. We don't think about it with faith. We think about it logically. We use our head, we use our brain, but also it's about, we're not just head and brain and all of that. We have, if you're a Christian, you have the Lord with you, right? A little bit about me. I grew up in a small church in Columbus, Ohio. It's called Living Hope Omega Ministry. I grew up there. I've been going there for about well, ever since I was 12. right? I'm 25 now, so I've been going there for pretty much all my life. It's become my family. It's become we've grown up. Like, that church has seen me through many stages of my life, right? And throughout the year, like, people just stopped coming, or people are changing churches. Like, the numbers just started decreasing and decreasing and decreasing. And about 8 months ago, like, somebody ran into the doors of our church, pushing us out. Well, we weren't in it, thank God. I meant, like, we weren't able to stay there and worship there anymore. And by the grace of God, the Lord provided a place for us to be in the meantime, and we're currently still at that place. But even with this small action, we're like even losing more, right? And to me, I love my church. I've always loved my church. But seeing all of that, seeing the decrease of people, seeing the fact that we got to fix a building and it costs a lot of money, I've been praying, like, okay, God, yes, let your will be done. But God, these are the facts. This is what's in front of us. These, this is it. I personally think, like, maybe now is a time. I feel like we are at the end of ourselves. Like, maybe now is a time to kind of just try something new, to close the doors, and, like, it won't be out of, like, I'm not wanting to leave, but I just, in my head, I'm thinking logically this is what makes sense. Anybody else could think that as well. But when I was reading the story, like, I felt convicted, because I found myself in the same place that the disciples were in, and I did the same thing, and I'm doing the same thing. Like, God sent them away. But the crazy thing is, Jesus told them, you give them something to eat. Like, what? Jesus, what? Like, we don't. What do you mean we give? What do you mean? It's a lot of people. It's a multitude of people. Like, what do you mean? But God expected them specifically to do something. And it really hit me, because God expects me to do something. God is expecting me in the challenge, in the thing that I'm facing, to do something. Many times, like, I'm not saying that this is a blanket statement for every single situation. Like, sometimes walking away, sometimes closing, sometimes sending them away is the right answer. But many times we go to the sending them away part, but we don't think about, okay, what can I do to do this? Because we're relying on our own strength, we're relying on our own logic, we're relying on our own brain, we're relying on what we're seeing in the physical, but we're not trying to see what's in the spiritual. The Lord was with them. They said, God, what do you mean feed them? We only have 5 loaves and 2 fish. That's all we have, and that's barely not even that's barely enough for us, the 12. Like, there's 13. That's barely enough for us. What do you mean we can feed them with that? But they had that, and that was what they had in their hand. God said, I can use what you have in your hand. He can use what we have even if it's small, because they looked at that. They're like, it was small. That's not gonna feed 5,000 people. That's small. That can barely feed. I don't know, like 4 people. But Jesus said, okay, have them sit down. He took the 5 and he blessed it, and he gave thanks to the Lord because of that, and then it multiplied. We have stories in the Bible about Moses. God asked him, what do you have in your hand? Moses said, I only have a stick. I only have a stick in my hand. But this stick he used it to part the Red Sea. God used it to part the Red Sea. He used it to bring water in the desert. He used it to allow the children of Israel to come out of captivity. Jeremiah said, God is saying, like, I have called you a prophet to the nation, but I am a small youth. Gideon, I am the smallest in my clan. My clan is the smallest, and I'm the least in my father's house. David, when the prophet came to look for to anoint the king, the parents, they put out the people who were better qualified, right? They didn't think about David, because he was the smallest, he was the least. But that's what God wanted. And even David, when he faced Goliath, everybody is scared. Everybody's saying, this, we cannot do this. We can't do this. This is crazy. We're going to die. Who dared even going in front of Goliath? But David did. He did that with the stones. That's how he was able to gain victory. It was the stones, and it was his God. Combined together, miracles can happen. The small that we have, combined with the big God that we serve, can bring miracles in our lives. God is expecting us to do something, and he's asking us what is in our hands. What can you do? What do you have that you can do? The parable of the talents. He gave to one 5. He gave to the other 2. He gave to the other 1. The one that had 1, he's like, I only have 1. I don't want to, I don't want to lose it. I don't want to do this. So he went and buried it. But God said, you were lazy. Depart from me. God is expecting him to do something with the small that he had. Many times we give excuses left and right, God, but I'm like this, I'm shy. I'm coming for myself. I'm shy. I can't really go out and talk to people. I'm shy. Can I even speak? Like I have an accent. I stutter. I do this. I'm not good enough. Like there's better people out there. When you compare yourself to other people, you have to understand other people are using what they have, and it's on you to use what you have. Imagine if we all use the small that we have, the gifts that we have. We can do so much. We can do so much. The disciple looked at the 5 breads and the 2 fish. They said, this is so small. We can't do anything. But Jesus multiplied that. And he fed 5,000 plus people, and they were leftovers. What a great miracle. What an awesome miracle. God can do so much with the little that we have. He can do so much with the little that we have. So it really convicted me, because I'm over here complaining to the Lord and telling God, like, logically, it might be time to close this down, Lord, because this and this and this. But what am I doing? I felt like God was literally like, I'm expecting you even in this situation, where you are 2 or 3, I'm expecting you to do something. I'm expecting you to do something. Give me your 2 bread. Your 2 fish and your 5 loaves, and see what I can do. See what I can do. But we don't offer the Lord our small. And we just, okay, God, when I have the big, that's when I will do this. When I have this, when I have the better setup, when I have the classes, when I have the money, that's when I will give. He's expecting us to do something with the small that he's given us. With the small that he's given us. So this year, I really feel like this is the word for the season. Like, whatever it is that you have, you can do so much. God has put us on this earth to do something, right? He's given you a specific calling. He's given me a specific calling. There's specific things that we can do. We have to do, right? Like the talents, we all have different talents in different amounts, but he's expecting 100 full for all of them. The 5th one, the one that had 5, he doubled it. The one that had 2, he doubled it. Guess what? That's 100% for on both sides. It doesn't matter what you have or how much you have it. It matters what you do with what you have. What you do, even if it's friendships. Lord, I want a big group of friends so I can do this. I want the small that you have. Even if you have 1, God can use that 1 to do so many things. What is your 1? What is your 2 loaves? Your 2 bread and 2 fish. What is yours? What is mine? Maybe it might be your voice. Maybe it may be the small money that you have. The lady that gave the coin that she had, like, she only had a coin, but she gave all. She gave it all. That's all she had. She gave it all. Give all, even if it's small. Give it all. Give it all. Yeah, that's what the Lord has really been knocking me down with and like ingraining in my brain, that I don't need to have the big things. I don't need to you start where you are at. You start with what you have, even if it's small, even if you're young, even if you don't have much. You start. You can make a difference. 1 can make a difference. It says 1 can chase 1,000. You can chase 1,000 already. You don't need. 1 can do so much. So I just want to come on here and to encourage you guys and encourage myself and just share this with you guys. I just want to share what the Lord is teaching me in this season. And that's to not minimize the small things. Whether you feel small, whether you have the small things, God can use the small in your life to do mighty things. So I feel like I'm going to give it a try. I hope you do too. I'm going to give it a try. So whatever it is that my small is, maybe it's just coming on the internet and speaking about God to my little followers. Not followers, but the little people that watch me. You guys that are watching me, thank you for watching me, right? Because sometimes, God, people are not watching. As long as I'm giving my small, as long as I'm giving the what's in my hand, as long as I'm doing it, God is being glorified. and God will glorify it. As long as like my result is 100%, like I'm giving my all, and like I'm yielding 100%. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. I hope this word blessed you guys. I hope you guys feel encouraged. I hope you feel empowered to go out. Sorry if the light looks dark, if this looks, or I'm trying something new, and this video, it's like something has been coming against it. I didn't. It was just something after the other. But if I've made it and I posted, we thank the Lord. So I hope you guys are blessed, and I cannot wait to see you guys again in my next video. Bye.